Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Check 31, check 31.
They go play action. Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. These two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. The Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off. It's J.J. Wilcox. And the return will stop right around the 25. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Hey, Black 25! Black 5 forward. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Hey, watch that.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Vikings' 23-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Ryan. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. 23 yards for the touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. The end result, 21 yards. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Cousins now. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense, because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road. And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to wind up and air that. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Watch the twist. Check the backer, check the backer.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. That one goes for 8 yards.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first.
Check 53's light. Leave it, bring up 48. Watch it slant. Watch it slant. Watch it slant. Shift. Rush in. Go ahead. Rush in.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 44-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check curls. Hey, check 25.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, right. Sponge. No. Check nickel.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 16 yards, a first down.
A gain of 16 yards. First down.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Let him know, let him know.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Here we go.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They run. Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. It's brought in by Dodson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. But he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still
Off the play fake, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Mike 5-4. All day, punt.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. It's Desmond Trufant. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Switch. Bang, 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 bang.
Throwing again. Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Here's Cousins.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they'll get this down to the 10. Well, the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Cousins. The quick slant caught. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Coming to you, coming to you. That's the 48.
Final play of the half. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Play action, Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Out, 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 out. Wait. Protein spill.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go. Watch the edge. 21. Blue draw Corpus. Right there. 54. Get out.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
They need stops to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
After the sack on 1st down, Ryan Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Everson Griffin. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I got you.
Play fake. Cousins. And he rifles one incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Antoine Woods coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Cousins now from the 50. Left side caught by Diggs. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Ryan. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
From the shotgun, Ryan looking deep for Julio. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 2nd and very short. Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Kill.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 29-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Going for the deep ball. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 46 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Falcons push further out in front. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action now. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
64.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They come out here in the eye. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They'll try and run it up the middle, and he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Ryan now going to try to run the option left. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards, a 1st down. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Falcons, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.